Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and exploring a coin that's surrounded by mystery, myth, and some serious money. That's right, we're talking about the 1968 D. Lincoln Wheat penny and the story behind the claim that one of these coins could be worth up to $1.7 million. You heard that right. $1.7 million for a penny. But is it possible? Is there really a 1968 D. Wheat penny that holds that kind of value? Or is this just another numismatic urban legend? Let's break it all down and get to the truth. First, let's talk about the basics. The Lincoln Wheat penny was officially produced from 1909 to 1958. After that, in 1959, the United States Mint replaced the wheat reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial design. So by 1968, all pennies coming out of the U.S. Mint, including the Denver Mint marked with AD, featured the Memorial reverse. That makes sense, right? So why are people talking about a 1968 D-Wheat penny? The short answer is that there's a rumor, a powerful one. According to multiple online sources and some whispers in the coin collecting community, a 1968 D. Lincoln cent was mistakenly struck with the old wheat reverse design. If that really happened, that coin would be what's known as a mule, a coin struck using mismatched obverse and reverse dies. Mule coins are among the rarest errors in the world of numismatics. And when I say rare, I mean astronomically rare. In fact, when a genuine mule is authenticated, it can easily fetch six figures, sometimes even more, depending on condition and demand. That's why this 1968 D-Wheat penny has collectors excited and skeptical. Now here's the thing. To date, there is no official verification from major grading companies like PCGS or NGC that a 1968 D-Wheat penny mule has ever been found or authenticated. There are no auction house records confirming a $1.7 million sale. So where did the number come from? The story goes that a private collector allegedly purchased a 1968 D-Wheat penny mule error in a closed private sale for $1.7 million. This claim has made the rounds online for years, repeated in forums, blogs, and even videos. But without a photo, grading record, or official transaction to verify it, many believe it's more of a legend than a fact. That said, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. There have been rare coins that sat undiscovered for decades before surfacing. Mint errors do happen, and sometimes they're not caught right away. So while the 1968 D-Wheat penny mule hasn't been confirmed, it also hasn't been fully debunked. Which means if you're a collector or a treasure hunter, it's still worth keeping your eyes open. Now let's take a moment to talk about the regular 1968 D. Lincoln Memorial penny. While it's not rare in circulation, over 2.8 billion of them were minted, there are still valuable versions of this coin out there. The key to value lies in condition, grade, and mint errors that a standard 1968 D penny in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 cent. But if you have one in mint state condition, especially graded MS66 or higher, it could be worth anywhere from $10 to over $100. The highest graded examples can push even higher in auctions due to collector demand. What really gets collectors excited, though, are mint errors. If you find a 1968 D penny with a double die obverse, off-center strike, clip planchet, or die cracks, those errors can dramatically increase its value. Some rare error pennies from this year have sold for several $100s, and even more in exceptional condition. Here's what to look for. First, check the obverse lettering carefully. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. If the letters appear doubled or distorted, you may have a double die error. Next, look at the coin's shape and alignment. If the design is off-center, or if the coin has a straight edge or curve missing, it might be a clipped planchet or off-center strike. Both are valuable errors. Also, examine the coin's surface for die cracks, cuts, or raised lines that don't belong. These are usually caused by worn or damaged dies and are often collectible. If you think you found something special, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy the value. Instead, get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is the first step to realizing a coin's true value. So let's bring it all together. Is there really a 1968 D. Lincoln Wheat penny worth $1.7 million? At this point, no one can say for certain. There's no publicly confirmed specimen, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. The U.S. Mint has made surprising errors before, and coin history is full of unbelievable finds that turned out to be real. If you're a collector, always stay alert. Keep your eyes open for oddities, especially in older coins. That mysterious penny sitting in your old change jar could be something far more valuable than you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into rare coins, their history, and their surprising values, Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or have a question about a penny in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck out there. Would you like a thumbnail title or description suggestion to go with the video? Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. Everyone. If you're into coin collecting, rare US coins, or just curious about that old change rattling in your drawer, then today's video is going to blow your mind. We're talking about the legendary 1973 D. Lincoln Wheat penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that some claim has sold for as much as $1.3 million. But is it true? What's the real story behind this mysterious coin? Let's dive into the history, the facts, and the truth about its value. First, let's clear up a little confusion. Most of you know the Lincoln Wheat penny design was produced from 1909 to 1958. That's the classic reverse design featuring the two wheat stalks. After that, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design, which ran from 1959 until 2008. So how can a 1973 D penny possibly be a wheat penny? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Most 1973 D pennies feature the Lincoln Memorial reverse and were struck in copper-plated zinc as the mint was transitioning its materials. But every once in a while, extremely rare mint errors occur. These are the coins that can turn a common penny into $1 million treasure. Let's talk about the 1973 D. The D mint mark means it was struck in Denver. The Denver Mint produced over 3.5 billion pennies that year. Yes, billion with a B. So on the surface, the 1973 D penny is extremely common. But, and it's a big but, there have been rumors and unconfirmed reports of a rare 1973 D Lincoln penny that was accidentally struck with a wheat reverse die. If true, this would be what's known in the numismatic world as a mule coin. A mule is a coin that has been struck using mismatched dies, typically a design from one year or type, combined with a die from another. Mules are incredibly rare and highly sought after. Now here's where the $1 million figure comes in. There was a lot of buzz in the coin community, both online and at shows, that a 1973 D. Lincoln Wheat penny mule had surfaced and had allegedly been sold at a private auction for $1.3 million. However, here's the truth. There is no confirmed auction house record or verifiable sale that supports this price tag. That doesn't mean it's impossible, but it does mean that collectors should be cautious when hearing claims like that. So, is there any value in a 1973 D penny? Absolutely. Even regular 1973 D Lincoln Memorial pennies can be worth more than face value if they are in pristine condition. A coin in mint state condition, graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, could fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s. If you happen to have one with a rare error, like a double die, off-center strike, or a rare planchet error, you could be looking at hundreds or even thousands. Let's talk about what to look for if you're going through your pocket change or your coin collection. First, check the date and mint mark. You want a 1973 penny with a D mint mark just under the date. Next, examine the reverse. If, by some miracle, you find one with wheat ears instead of the Lincoln Memorial, you may be holding one of the rarest mule coins ever struck. If you think you found one, do not clean it. Don't even try to polish it. Take it immediately to a reputable coin dealer or send it in to be authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Even if you don't find a mule, keep an eye out for double dies. These are coins where the design was struck more than once by the die, slightly off alignment, and they can add serious value. Look closely at the lettering, especially "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. If you see any doubling, that's a good sign. Also, check for off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned or not centered properly on the coin. These errors can make a coin worth hundreds depending on the severity and condition. Let's recap. The standard 1973 D penny is not rare, but condition, errors, and anomalies can make certain examples valuable. As for the elusive 1973 D wheat penny mule allegedly worth $1.3 million, there's no solid proof, but the story continues to capture the imagination of collectors everywhere. If you have a 1973 D penny, don't toss it just yet. Get a magnifying glass, check for errors, and consider having it graded. You never know, you might be holding a rare coin that could change your life. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more coin history, values, and rare finds. Let us know in the comments what treasures you've found in your change jar. Until next time, happy collecting. Would you like a version with voiceover pacing cues or formatted for teleprompter use? Welcome back to the channel, where we talk all things coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures you might just have sitting in your pocket change. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most intriguing stories in U.S. coin collecting, the 1969 D. Lincoln penny and the swirling rumors that one of these coins is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Now, that's a huge claim. A penny worth over $1.5 million. Let's break down the facts, the history, and the mystery behind this famous coin. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what to look for if you think you might have one of these rare pieces in your collection. Let's begin with a little background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent. From 1909 to 1958, the coin featured the classic wheat ears on the reverse side. Those are the coins collectors call wheat pennies. Then in 1959, to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial. So here's the thing. By the year 1969, all pennies coming out of the Denver Mint, which is what the D Mint mark stands for, were struck with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, not the wheat reverse. That means that technically, there should be no such thing as a 1969 D wheat penny. So where does the story come from? Well, like with most coin legends, it starts with a rumor and a small mix of fact and fiction. There's been talk in the coin community and across the internet about a mysterious 1969 D Lincoln cent that was mistakenly struck using an old wheat penny reverse die. If such a coin exists, it would be what collectors call a mule error, a coin created when mismatched dies are used together. And mules are some of the rarest, most valuable coins in the world. The story claims that this 1969 D wheat penny was discovered and quietly sold in a private sale for a staggering $1.6 million. No photos, no grading record, no auction house, just a claim passed from collector to collector, growing in mystery over the years. Now let's pause right here. There is no verified record of a 1969 D wheat penny being graded, certified, or sold at public auction for any amount, let alone $1.6 million. That doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist. The coin world has seen some incredible finds over the years that were dismissed as rumors until someone came forward with the proof. But as of right now, this story falls into the category of numismatic legend, not proven fact. However, when it comes to the 1969 Lincoln cent, particularly the 1969 S double die, there is absolutely a coin from this year that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's take a closer look at that. In 1969, a small number of Lincoln cents struck at the San Francisco Mint were produced with an incredibly strong double die obverse. That means the front of the coin, including the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, all appear to be doubled. The doubling is extremely clear and visible to the naked eye. These coins are incredibly rare. Only a few dozen examples are known to exist, and collectors pay massive premiums for them. One example sold for over $126,000 at auction. If you happen to find one of these in the wild, you're holding one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in existence. Now let's circle back to the 1969 D. Even though the famous double die was only officially found on coins from the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, collectors still search 1969 D pennies carefully, hoping for unknown errors or anomalies. And while there's no confirmed wheat reverse version of the 1969 D, there are still ways this coin can be valuable. Let's go over what to look for. First, if you have a 1969 D Lincoln cent, check the condition. The vast majority of these coins are worth face value in circulated condition. But if your coin is in mint state, especially graded MS66 or higher, it can be worth from $10 to over $100 depending on demand and quality. Second, look for errors. This includes things like off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing die cracks, visible raised lines on the coin where the die broke during striking, struck through grease or other debris, which can cause parts of the design to be missing. These kinds of errors can increase a coin's value significantly, sometimes into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars if the error is dramatic and the condition is strong. The bottom line is this. The 1969 D Lincoln Memorial penny is a common coin, but under the right circumstances, with an error, high grade, or unusual strike, it can become quite valuable. And if the legendary 1969 D wheat reverse mule ever shows up and is authenticated, that could indeed be $1 million coin. So if you're sorting through your change or inherited an old coin collection, don't overlook those 1969 D pennies. Take a close look. Use a magnifying glass. And if you see something strange, something that looks like a wheat reverse or has unusually strong doubling, get that coin professionally examined by a grading company like PCGS or NGC. And remember, never clean your coins. Cleaning can destroy their value. Always handle valuable coins by the edges and keep them in protective holders if you think they're worth something. Alright, coin hunters, that's it for today's video. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny might not be confirmed as a $1,000,000 coin yet, but it's part of a fascinating story in American numismatics. Whether it's legend or future reality, one thing's for sure. It pays to keep your eyes open and your pennies safe. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare coins, their history, and how to spot value hiding in plain sight. And let me know in the comments, have you ever come across a 1969 D penny with something unusual? I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting and good luck out there. Would you like a YouTube description, thumbnail text, or a call to action suggestion for the end of the video? Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about coins in U.S. numismatic circles, the 1970 D. Lincoln wheat penny. That's right, the coin that some people claim is worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Is it real? Is it a myth? And what's the truth behind this mysterious coin? Whether you're a longtime coin collector or just curious about the spare change in your pocket, this is a story you don't want to miss. Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just change how you look at every penny you come across. Let's start with some history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 and featured 2 wheat ears on the reverse of the coin. These wheat pennies were produced until 1958. In 1959, the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial, and that design remained in place until 2008. By 1970, all official Lincoln cents, including those minted in Denver with the D Mint mark, should have had the Lincoln Memorial reverse. That makes sense, right? Which leads us to the big question. Why is there talk of a 1970 D. Lincoln wheat penny? That design was supposedly discontinued more than a decade earlier. Well, that's where this story takes a turn. According to multiple online sources and collector forums, there's been talk of a rare error coin, a 1970 D. Lincoln cent struck with the older wheat reverse instead of the memorial reverse. If true, this would be what coin experts call a mule, a coin struck using mismatched obverse and reverse dies. Mule coins are some of the rarest and most valuable mint errors in the entire world. And if a real 1970 D. Lincoln wheat penny mule exists, it would be a truly historic error, possibly one of a kind. The rumor is that such a coin was discovered, authenticated in a private transaction, and sold to a high-end collector for as much as $1.5 million. Sounds amazing, right? Here's the catch. To date, no major grading service like PCGS or NGC has publicly confirmed the existence of a 1970 D. wheat reverse mule. There's no auction listing, no image authenticated by a top-tier numismatic organization, no public record of the transaction. So as far as official history goes, this coin has never been verified. That means it's in the category of numismatic legend. A coin that might exist or might not. Something that could be sitting in a collector's private vault or could simply be the result of an internet rumor that spiraled into a $1 million fantasy. But while the $1 million wheat reverse mule might not be confirmed, that doesn't mean the 1970 D. Lincoln cent isn't valuable in other ways. Let's talk about what we do know. The 1970 D. penny was struck in Denver and is relatively common in circulated condition. Over 2.9 billion of these coins were minted. That means finding one in your pocket is not unusual, but finding one in pristine condition or with a rare error is a whole different story. Even a regular 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial cent can be worth good money if it is in exceptional condition. For example, a penny graded MS-67 or higher can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. In fact, high-grade examples certified by PCGS and NGC have sold for over $1,000 depending on the quality, luster, and lack of contact marks. But the real money is in the errors. Some of the most valuable 1970 D. pennies have one of the following. First, look out for doubled dies. This error occurs when the die strikes the coin more than once at slightly different angles. A doubled die obverse, especially one showing doubling in the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, can make your coin worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. Second, off-center strikes. If your 1970 D. penny is part of the design missing because it was struck off-center, that error can bring in serious collector interest. Third, clipped planchets. That's when a portion of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake. If the clipped area is significant and the coin is otherwise in good condition, it can be worth a solid premium. And finally, die cracks, cuds, and struck-through errors. These are often smaller errors, but still very collectible, depending on how dramatic they are. So what should you do if you find a 1970 D. penny that looks unusual? First, never clean it. Cleaning can reduce or destroy a coin's value instantly. Second, examine it carefully with a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Look at the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the overall design. If anything looks strange, doubled, or out of place, you might be onto something. Third, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate the coin and give it a grade, which is essential if you ever plan to sell or insure it. Now let's go back to that million-dollar question. Does a 1970 D. Lincoln Wheat penny worth $1.5 million really exist? As of now, it remains unproven. It's part of coin collecting lore. It's a story that fascinates collectors and fuels late-night treasure hunts through jars of old coins. And whether it's true or not, it has definitely raised awareness about just how valuable rare pennies can be. If a genuine 1970 D. Wheat reverse mule ever shows up and is authenticated, there is no doubt it would be worth a fortune, maybe even more than the rumored $1.5 million. Until then, the legend lives on. So the next time you're digging through your old change, pay special attention to your 1970 D pennies. Even if you don't find the million-dollar mule, you could still uncover a rare error or high-grade example that's worth serious cash. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on rare coins, hidden treasures, and the stories behind some of the most valuable coins ever minted. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a strange penny, or if you're hunting for the elusive 1970 D. Wheat penny yourself. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck out there. If you'd like, I can also create a compelling video description, clickable title, or YouTube thumbnail text to help this video get more views. Let me know. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the incredible stories behind everyday pocket change. In today's video, we're talking about the mysterious and often misunderstood 1968 Lincoln Wheat penny, a coin that some claim is worth as much as $1.6 million. Could a 1-cent coin from 1968 really be worth that much money? Is it a real collector's dream or just another coin myth passed around on the internet? Stick around because we're going to break down the history, the facts, and what you should actually look for if you want to know whether your 1968 penny might be something truly special. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, of the coin. On the reverse side, the original design showed 2 wheat ears, known as the wheat penny. This design ran from 1909 through 1958. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of Lincoln's 150th birthday, and that version continued through 2008. By 1968, all pennies being produced by the United States Mint were using the Lincoln Memorial reverse. This includes the coins minted in Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. The Denver Mint, marked with a small d under the date, produced over 2.5 billion pennies that year alone. That means a 1968 penny is not rare by itself. But here's where things get interesting. Over the years, rumors have emerged in coin collecting circles and online about a 1968 penny that was mistakenly struck with the old wheat reverse, the design that officially ended in 1958. If such a coin exists, it would be one of the rarest and most valuable mint errors in U.S. coin history. It would be what collectors call a mule coin. A mule coin is created when 2 mismatched dies are used during the minting process. In this case, it would mean a 1968 Lincoln cent with the memorial obverse and the wheat reverse, a combination that was never meant to exist. These kinds of errors are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. There are very few authentic mules known to exist from any year, and when one surfaces, it makes headlines. Now here's the rumor. According to some sources, a collector came across a 1968 Lincoln Wheat penny mule and sold it in a private transaction for a mind-blowing $1.6 million. That's where the number comes from. But here's the truth. To this day, there is no publicly verified or authenticated example of a 1968 wheat reverse penny. No major grading service like PCGS or NGC has confirmed such a coin. No public auction record exists. And no high-resolution images have been released showing this supposed mint-errored. What does that mean? It means the legendary 1968 Lincoln Wheat penny worth $1.6 million remains unconfirmed. It may exist in a private collection, hidden away from the public eye. Or it may simply be a modern coin myth, a story that grew over time without any solid evidence to back it up. Either way, it continues to spark curiosity among collectors around the world, but don't walk away disappointed just yet. Even though the million-dollar mule remains unverified, the 1968 Lincoln cent can still be quite valuable under the right circumstances. Let's talk about what makes a 1968 penny worth more than face value. First, Let's look at condition. A 1968 Lincoln cent in circulated condition, the kind you'd find in pocket change, is usually worth 1 cent. But if you have a 1968 penny in uncirculated or mint state condition, that value can climb quickly. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell for between $10 and $100 depending on the quality. The highest graded 1968 Lincoln cents, especially those with full original luster and no contact marks, can sell for even more. There have been examples sold for over $500 in top condition. Second, error coins. This is where things get exciting. Some 1968 Lincoln cents have been discovered with valuable mint errors that dramatically increase their value. Here are a few to look for. Double die obverse. This is when the front of the coin is struck twice by the die, slightly offset. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. If you see doubling in the letters or numbers, you could have a valuable coin. Off-center strike. If the design is noticeably off-center and the date is still visible, that error can be worth from $50 to several $100s, depending on how far off it is and the overall condition. Clip planchet. If part of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake, this could also be valuable depending on the size and severity of the clip. Die cracks and cuts. These occur when the die used to strike. The coin breaks or chips, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin. Collectors love dramatic die breaks, especially if they cover a large area of the coin. Now, if you think you found a coin with one of these rare errors, or even something as strange as a 1968 penny with wheat ears on the reverse, here's what you should do. First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can severely damage its surface and reduce its value instantly. Second, use a magnifying glass or coin loupe to inspect the coin in detail. Take note of anything unusual, like doubling, misalignment, or missing features. Third, consider sending the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate the coin, assign a grade, and give you an official certification that collectors and buyers trust. So, is the 1968 Lincoln wheat penny worth $1.6 million real? Right now, it's a story. A fascinating story, but a story without concrete proof. It's part of the mystery and excitement that makes coin collecting such an addictive and rewarding hobby. And even if that specific coin never surfaces, there are still valuable finds out there waiting to be discovered. You just have to know what to look for, stay curious, and keep searching. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, numismatic history, and valuable treasures hiding in your everyday change. Have you ever found an unusual 1968 penny? Or do you think the $1 million wheat penny is real? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep your eyes open and happy collecting. Would you like a matching YouTube description, video title suggestion, or thumbnail text to go along with this script?